morning. Good morning. I don't know how there's already 5 people watching. Nikita Beer, what's going on? Who are these bots? Get rid of them. Put a watermark. Screenshot this. Watermark it. Watermark bigger. So, good morning. Good morning. My name is Dude Lifts. This is Scroll With Me. This is where you and I, hey, we sit down. We scroll Twitter together. It's our morning ritual. You know what I mean? I'm here, you're here, the timeline is here, the timeline provides, we understand the vibes. Well, and truthfully, we don't understand the vibes, and that's why we're here. That's why we have to get locked in every morning, and we scroll the timeline, and that's what we do. It's meditation, it's a spiritual experience, it's group therapy, it's all the above. Oh, we've got Matt Roth in the chat says, Dude, morning to you. Good, sir. Thanks for saying what's up in the chat. We got Doomers with 2 O's. Wow, look at this. Look at this PFP. Look at this. Look at this. 3D glasses, devil hoodie, absolute grail doodle PFP. Congratulations on the pickup. I didn't even see what it got picked up for, but I heard it was a steal. So amazing, amazing. Wow, what a great way to start your day. You know what I'm saying? No, but congrats on the pickup for that. So cool, so cool. But we've got, we are 1 minute and 45 seconds in. Going to be specific about that. We got almost 30 people watching, so congratulations. Congratulations, that's the craziest thing to say. I didn't mean to say that. Sorry, I'm just drinking my coffee. I meant to say thank you. Wow, so arrogant. Congratulations for being here. Oh my God. But thank you. Opposite literal gratitude for tuning in today to watch me scroll Twitter and embark on this really prolonged journey of a descent into madness, because that's really what this is. So without further ado, let's scroll the Twitter timeline. Let's understand the vibes. Let's see what's going on. Pardon me. Got to keep multiple drinks on deck for multiple purposes. But for those of you who are longtime viewers or are listening in for the first time today, say what's up in the chat. Let me know you're here, because I can't see if you're here unless you say what's up, and I want to say what's up. So let's go. So we've got OpenSea here. Fresh tweet of the day. It says, Happy International Cat Day. Didn't realize that until this morning. So excited. Looks like we got a Mocha cat here. I saw CryptoKitties was joining in on the fun with Mocha as well. So we love the cats. And I think Inamoka just announced a strategic investment for cool cats on International Cat Day. So yeah. DJ Dab says, Descent into Madness, truth, LOL. Yeah, this is actually like, I am the effigy. I'm the archetype. Because if you're here, you're also descending into madness as well. If you're in the trenches on crypto Twitter, then you're in this with me. I'm just the effigy. I'm just the archetype at this point. So I'm doing this. I'm really doing this for documentation, for prosperity. To really just someday they can look back and our AIs can like scan, all the transcripts, and they go, that guy really lost his shit, and I want them to know. I want them to know. Let's go. All right, so let's keep going. We've got a mutable type here. Said someone just dropped 500 flow into the collection, 40K flow market cap. Yeah, this is so cool. So mutable type has an app that features kind of like it allows for the community to kind of drum up funds to sponsor on-chain journalism, but they dropped this collection on a site called Flow Fun. And Flow Fun's it's super underrated and super sick. It uses like a 404 standard on Flow, but 404 actually works on Flow because the transaction fees are so low. So the ability for something to be an NFT and then a fungible token, like hybrid, actually makes sense because you can break it down, put it back together, trade the tokens. Like, it's all low transaction fees. So they have these, I think they're called like Buffa Flow or something, like NFTs, these like pixelated buffaloes. And then they can be broken down into a fungible token as well. So really interesting mechanism here, and glad to see people enjoying that and discovering that. So Musty says GM. Yeah, I mean, don't know all the screenshots here because we blame Nikita. We don't blame Elon anymore. We blame Nikita. I didn't realize how bad the ETH price got until I looked back at the chart, and I was like, oh shit, it really was that bad not that long ago, which is crazy. Let's see here. Primitive says, We didn't support anything. We sold 700 million of Solana, market dumping on Kraken, then did 1.2 billion token raise. Now we're giving back with less than Bonk.fund gives to organic runners. Gives to organic runners is a crazy statement. Like that. That is it's not a double negative, but it's a sentence that cancels itself out. Somebody ChatGPT me that word. Yeah, I mean, people be mad at Pump.fun. They'd be mad. Imagine thinking ordinals have a future. Spoiler, it's all happening on ETH. Hey, I'm not going to tell you what has a future and what doesn't, because what I have learned is that, the consensus take on crypto Twitter, almost usually wrong entirely. Let's see. How is this app free? By the way, you have a blue check mark, it's not free. That's actually so true. So true. Yeah, not to mention that this is a Descent into Madness and the documentary series. That's really, we're going to add that to the list of things that scroll with me is it's also a documentary series, but I'm not getting paid for this to do this. I'm quite literally paying to do this. So just let that be known. So we've got Jupiter Exchange here. It says access to private markets has long been gated and exclusive until now. Tokenized pre-IPO stocks from pre-stocks FI are now live on Jupiter. I mean, dude, fuck yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Not really. I definitely have some more to say about that. But dude, I'm a gamble maxing fan. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's get skin in the game at every opportunity. Let's do it. But kind of seriously, I do think that the free, truly free and open, which, maybe there's some distinction there, but over the long term, we'll see kind of everything descend into truly free and open capital markets. And it's a great way to decide things. Granted, I hadn't thought about if everything's determined by a capital market, is there enough money to go around, to actually do that? Maybe, but I'm a big fan of this, because we will try to speculate. We will try to look for an edge. We'll try to look for an angle. A lot of people look at whales market, which is this has already been happening for a long time. People have been quoting, this is for crypto tokens, but we've been quoting whales market and stuff like that. So there's clearly demand for this kind of product. And so, yeah, I think it's awesome. Now, granted, is this a commentary on should companies just kind of go public from the jump or whatever? Instead of having pre-public IPO, they're just being speculated on. So is Launchcoin actually right? Should they just launch a coin from the rip and let the market just do what it does and you just ship and do your thing? Maybe. Because this seems almost, now that it's saying that out loud, it's it's just a farce. We're just getting closer to things being fully tradable on the open markets. And in this case, my guess is the companies actually don't see any of the upside because I imagine Jupe and whatever pre-stocks is taking a cut and not giving anything to the companies they're speculating on. So in a weird way, Pasternak mode, in a weird way, Pasternak mode. Let's keep going. Since rebranding to become the home of creator coins on Base, Adzora has welcomed thousands of diverse creators from Fake Taxi to ZX. Calling Fake Taxi a diverse creator is crazy work. Oh, this is Gecko Terminal. Oh, shit. Dude, what fucking simulation are we in? When Gecko Terminal, with a straight face, tweeting this, whoever's behind it, goes, the series of diverse creators on Base, like Fake Taxi, the pornography website that launched a creator coin on Base app. Who is... God, this is why we're here, Oh my gosh, I left the DJ Jabs comment about Descend into Madness on the stream this whole time, and it's just continued to be true. So maybe I was actually prophesying my own Descend into Madness, but that's crazy. But hey, I think there's definitely some kind of rough edges to creator capital markets, to Zora, to Base App, to this kind of overall model. I think I've talked about it previously. Jesse Pollock says content is valuable. I don't totally agree. I think I'm a fan of the ability for creators to permissionlessly tap into value on their content, but I don't think it's inherently valuable because you created it. For example, this stream. Not valuable. I'm just kidding. But the majority of content, as with social media, is not valuable. So people are like, oh, you should be able to get paid for your content. I 100% agree that like we should try to reduce middlemen and, maybe not rely on, corporations giving ad spend for creators to create and allow people to tap in and bet on those creators and all of that gamble maxing. But the content itself is not inherently valuable. So I know that's a subtle distinction, maybe, or I'm just talking out of my ass, but yeah. So I think basically I'm just saying there needs to be some refinement. Hey, Vitalik, can you change your PFP back to your face? Nobody knows what this is in your skin. I mean, yes. I mean, this is clearly from World of Warcraft. But yeah, when this PFP comes back on, I don't know if Vitalik thinks he's doing like a war mode kind of vibe, but it's not giving that. It's not giving that at all. Yeah. So yeah, just anything but this, to be fair. Genuinely. All right, let's see here. The Goonie Brad said, this is such a fun episode. Make sure to give it a watch if you haven't already. Never been more optimistic about the future of Disney Pinnacle. Bring on the trade weekend and complete some sets at Flow. Hey, look, that's me. That's me right there. And that's Polly Wiswit. And that's Double Daddy. And that is Disney fucking Dan. Dude, short story, which, it's not going to be short, but I'll do my best. So I'm in London for my cousin's wedding. Sitting there with my Uncle Joe. He's this Italian guy. And he goes off about, we were talking about Disney because, it's a Disney adult. So, of course, we're talking about that. And he's like, oh, I just watched a special on History Channel called How Disney Built America. It goes on and on. He works for the Army Corps of Engineers. So he was really into the engineering kind of aspect of Disney and all that jazz. So he goes on and on about this History Channel special, that, how Disney Built America. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to watch that 100%. So then Polly Wiswit hits me up and says, hey, I want to do a Disney Pinnacle podcast. I'm like, hell yes. He's like, Double Daddy's coming on there. I'm like, Double Daddy's the GOAT. He says, and this guy, Disney Dan. I was like, oh, cool. He's like, Disney Dan is relatively well-known Disney collector. He's not huge in Pinnacle, but I've, showed him the app. He really likes it. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And so I go to Disney Dan's Twitter profile and it says, Disney Dan, How Disney Built America at History Channel. And I was like, keep in mind, this is a week after I just learned about this special. And I've watched a decent amount of Disney content. I had never seen the special before. And so I, hit him up in the DMs. I go, oh, are you affiliated with this special at all? He's like, oh yeah, I started it. I was like, no shit. I was like, I literally just found out about this special a week ago. And now I'm sitting on a podcast with the dude who's like a star in that special. Crazy. But super fun episode. Totally nerding out over Disney Pinnacle pins. So yeah, give it a watch if you get a chance. Let's see. Oh, the timeline is just Disney Pinnacle. Not only are Disney Pinnacle pin books a great way to show off your collection, they're a great way to show the trades you need. Oh, this is wild. Just one pin to go to complete the goal. This is crazy. Okay. This is so funny. So there's this classic, I'm going to put on my product guy hat, which I'm just absolutely not a product guy. But this thing where if you observe user behavior, kind of either breaking the product or cheating the product to try to achieve a goal, it's something to pay attention to. So definitely going to forward this to the Disney Pinnacle team. Wow, that's interesting because he's using a pin book, which is just meant to flex and display your pins to say here's what I have and here's what I need. So if anybody else has this, I need this one in gold. So cool. Love that. I love just seeing little hacks like that. That's amazing. We got Kuya Mark, who's probably in the chat, to be fair, because Kuya is literally everywhere. He's the only man who may have more likes and replies than me. Happy International Cat Day to you, Kuya. It's Cat Slug. Oh, nice. Dude, we need to get down on the International Cat Day vibes. Okay, Cato update just destroyed the AI reply guy. Meta, hundreds of interns for top accounts are now out of a job. Original content is king. Don't know what that means, but I like it. Let's see here. Let's keep going here. Big congrats to Stefan on the announcement of his new project. Rabanan from Infinify. Absolute goat. Product idea, this but has a voice chat. Feels like, oh my gosh. Yo, I was using ChatGPT chat this morning. Used the voice chat. I hadn't used it before because it's kind of clunky, but I got ChatGPT 5 on my phone. And so I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. It's pretty wild. I'm not going to lie. At some point I was like, oh, I'm having a conversation with a customer service representative, a good one, actually. That's how it felt. And I was like, this is kind of crazy. I know some people kind of leave that like agent open. I'm not even an agent, but like the chat open and just kind of like bounce like backboard ideas off it. So I don't know, very interesting. But yeah, imagine that kind of voice chat. That's crazy. All right, so we got 10 minutes left. You know what that means. You know that we got to refresh the vibes. Let's refresh. Okay, Charizard Capital. Charizard Capital, shout out. Shout out to the Strategic Charizard Reserve. These cats, no pun intended, are tokenizing Charizards. So they're like buying them off eBay, other places, sending them to the Brinks Vault with BZ, tokenizing them, and then making the Strategic Charizard Reserve, which is incredible. Let's see. So I don't know what any of this means, but I like darkness. And so apparently I'm wrong. So all good. All good. Oh, this is interesting. So Panini Blockchain, the digital collectibles platform for Panini America, is developing a bridge to allow users to move certain assets to the Ethereum network for storage and self-custody wallets. Interesting. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because one of the main criticisms I've heard for Panini is that like they have this kind of like permissioned blockchain, XYZ. So cool. I feel like that's probably good for the space more broadly. Oh man, we got Noah. We got Noah in the chat. We've got Noah on the timeline because the timeline provides, and then when you tweet during Scroll With Me, and then you possibly see it on Scroll With Me, it is Scrollception. So not going to watch the entire video here, but this is interesting. Okay. So a little bit of backdrop. Noah, cracked builder, is working on this platform called Art Drop, where I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it tokenizes art because maybe we got to have a little bit more flexibility with that definition, but creates on-chain provenance for art and also like a marketplace, all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't know. It's wild. So he says, this is step 5 of the Art Drop Presents flow. Pun intended. Once your friend makes an offer on a piece of art, the artist themselves gets an SMS notification email. So you can go to an art gallery, tap a piece of art, and then make an offer. I think on chain, like immediately. And then it sends the artist a text message. I'm like, I don't know. For someone like me, because I've like, I've bought art at a coffee shop, actually more than once. But I'm like, you have to go to the person. Maybe this is like totally privileged introvert vibes, but you have to go to the person. You go, yeah, you see that piece of art up there? Like, is that for sale? Who owns it? How do I contact them? Oh, I hit them up on Instagram. Oh, okay, that's fine. Like this is just, I go, oh, okay, cool. It's for sale. Make an offer. Thanks. Okay. Take it off the wall. Go home. At least that's how I imagine it. So, and they've partnered with some really notable artists already. They're making the rounds, all these kind of art festivals. So I could go on and on, but very cool. Good work, Noah. No grading, no guesswork, always scarce, forever mint condition. All day unpacked. It's subtle, but we ignite the new language from NFL all day. Okay. No grading, no guesswork, always scarce, forever mint condition. Damn, that hits. That be hitting. Dude, especially, okay, speaking of grading. Okay, so for those of you who aren't into TCGs, I'm going to give you a little bit of background. So first off, BZ, Goated, is doing a giveaway with tag grading right now. So here's what you need to know. One, go into that because it's like a $600 card they're doing a giveaway for. So there's a couple of major players in the grading game. You got PSA, Beckett, CG, blah, 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 whatever. And then there's like this like incumbent new player called Tag. Now, granted, there's a lot of controversy and whatever, but Tag is interesting to me because Tag has ambitions to build like grading kiosks. They use AI. You drop your card in there, grades it, slabs it, boom. Like, because right now, and I've never graded a PSA card, but my understanding of the process is like you get the kit from PSA, you send it in, takes God knows how long, 30 days plus, you pay a shitload of money, they send it back with a grade with essentially no explanation. So you have to kind of like divine how they graded it. You're like, okay, is it off center? Is it this? Is it that? You got to kind of like figure it out. As we're tag grading, they give you this full like AI generated report with like microscope cameras with like, it's all interactive. You go like, click, see the defect. I mean, it's like, it is what you would expect from a modern product. It's like, oh yeah, everything should be that way. So we'll keep it simple. If you feel differently, then yeah, just kidding. But got a little fired up there. Sorry. But here's the thing. So no grading. Getting back to this, I saw something today that someone bought like some Charizard or something like that. And they're like, oh yes, they like got this Charizard. And someone in the comment was like, oh, is it a new cert or an old cert? Which is this new term that's like floating around. That's like, oh, maybe the PSA has changed its parameters or it's more strict. So like new certifications versus old certifications, like there's a difference. And I'm like, I think it's a fucking psyop from PSA itself to try to get people to break old cards open and resend them in for certification and spend more money. I think it's a total fucking scam. So, all that being said, put it on chain and get the fuck out of here. Yeah, Ikula said the double bird makes its debut. Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that tag grading was going to be the thing that did it to me? So but I just find all this like TCG stuff like entertaining and kind of this is my reality TV. You know what I mean? But yeah, the new cert versus old cert, I'm like, I think it's a full psyop. I think it's an absolute psyop. So let's go and keep going here. Was looking at the Zorodox. They charge a 3% fee on every swap for the creator coins. 33% goes back to the protocol. 33% goes back to the creator. 33% goes into LP. One-sided. Blah, blah, blah. And show more. I guess that's all we'll ever know about it. All right. Make a green day for the abstract memes. Oh, okay. Sorry. My 24 hours usually on the left. And so I was like confused. I was like, this a red day, sir. Maximus Decimus Tom Lee Ethereum rallies the Legion towards Valhalla, ETH to 40K. Dude, I saw the best meme of this guy the other day. It was that like classic meme, like the one guy saying something to the coworker, and it's like, oh my gosh. And the next guy saying it and go, oh, human resources. And it was him saying like ETH to 16K, and like, oh my gosh. And then like Sassel OX or whatever, they kind of like ETH Maxi OG. And they're like, human resources. And I'm like, I love it here. I love it here. This guy's just been going around on mainstream news channels because he wears a suit and probably manages a fund or something. And he just goes, what is it? He just says like, his like opening line is like, ETH has never had any downtime. And that's why Wall Street has chosen ETH. I may be smooth brain. I don't know shit, but I'm like, doesn't Wall Street go down like fairly often, or like they halt trading, whatever, they've experienced interruptions. So I'm like, while I think it's amazing that ETH has had zero downtime and they like see that as an advantage, that's incredible. And maybe that it's an evolution or something, but it's like, I feel like he just plucked it out of a hat and just says it with confidence. And because he spent God knows how much on Ethereum, now we're like, this guy knows what he's talking about. ETH has had zero downtime. And that's how you know that it's the network that Wall Street's going to bet on. I mean, it's a simple enough narrative, I guess. I mean, it makes intuitive sense, and maybe that's all that matters. But I respect the pump, and so I respect the pump. I simply respect the pump. So don't let me get in your way. Don't let me get in your way. We've got Y Combinator, ETH at 4,000. For some reason, that tweet to me feels like a top signal. I'm sorry. I know I said I respect the pump, but that feels like a little bit. We'll see. But I also respect Min's bags and Min Dynasty's ETH long. So please don't let my yammering influence. Ferrari now accepts Ethereum payments in the US and Europe. Okay, who's feeding the ETH timeline into my algorithm right now? What's happening here? We got the Tom Lee guy, we got Gary Tan, we got Ferrari now. What's going on here? Okay. Oh, let's see what this says. I learned about @Wallet, which I think is OKX, DEX's new Vibes feature. What is it? You can use it to see what crypto Twitter influencers are tweeting and corresponding price actions. Interesting. Okay, Ikula says, Tom Lee is the GOAT, though. Great track record being right. Nonetheless, let him create alt season for us. 100%. 100%. That's like, I literally don't know shit about this guy. So, Iculus, I respect you. I take your word for it. And so yeah, we respect the pump. We simply respect the pump. And hey, I'm no stranger to just saying dumb shit and just saying it with a little bit of confidence. And who knows? But okay, so this is okay. Whatever the fuck this is, I'm looking at this now. This is fascinating. So this is okay. I need to dive into this. This is okay. So if I'm reading this correctly, this has a price chart, right? Which it looks like a DEX exposure here, and then is pinging social posts to so you can see when somebody calls the top or like calls the bottom or like what they're saying about it. This feels like an advancement in kind of like InfoFi, or at least just like using social listening Yeah, this is really interesting. I like that a lot. Wow. More people should be paying attention to that. That's really cool. Oh my gosh, Fox fam with the final Ibiza boss. Look at this. Incredible. Incredible technology. All right, we've got, oh, it's 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. All right, but it's 9 a.m. So we're going to leave it off with a Sean Robb tweet because Sean Robb is my KOL, as you know. Sean Robb says the best way to get in the flow state is to build on flow blockchain. It is truly that simple. It's that simple. Yeah, for those of you who don't know the flow state, it's where you want to be. It's where you want to be. But it is 9 a.m. That means you know that I know that we had that meeting. There's almost 200 people watching live right now, which is crazy. So all respect to Tom Lee, all respect to Min Dynasty and his ETH Long, all respect to Jerry Tan, all respect to the pump. I think that's it. So thank you so much. It is Friday, which means you probably won't be streaming this weekend unless ETH goes to 5K, you know, but I'm probably still not going to stream. So until next week, thank you all. Congratulations for watching today. If you know, you know. And until then, I will see you all on the timeline. So love you all. You're the best. And see you next week.